welcome back to my channel. Today is Vlogmas day 10. I can't believe I've done 10 days of straight videos. For those of you who are new here, welcome. I'm Maddie. I'm a K-5 STEM teacher and ed tech coach in Los Angeles. I post weekly tech tutorials for teachers, but during this period of time called Vlogmas, I'm actually posting a new video every single day for the first 25 days of December. So for today's video, I am going to be helping you get organized. Actually, the next few videos in this Vlogmas series are going to be about staying organized. So today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make an assignment tracker using Google Sheets. I love using Google Sheets as a tool to stay organized. I know that it is something that can be a little bit daunting for teachers. You know, it's not a tool that we're using every day with our students, but I do think that Google Sheets is a really helpful tool, especially when thinking about ways that we can track student work. So today's video is going to be about exactly that, and without further ado, let's get started.
All right, so I've opened up a Google Sheets file here. You'll see I have a brand new file with nothing on it. At the top, I have given this file a name. So what I did was I just clicked and typed in assignment tracker because I'm going to be showing you how to create an assignment tracker or an attendance tracker using Google Sheets. The first thing I want to do is I want to create a list of the students in my class. Now, if you have these somewhere where you can just copy and paste the names, that would work great. But just quickly, I'm going to type in some student names on the left-hand side here. So now that I've added the names of the students in my class, at the top, I want to have the names of the different assignments. So on the left-hand side, on the y-axis, we have the names of the students in my class. And then up across the x-axis, I'm going to add the names of the assignments that I'm tracking with this assignment tracker. Now you could also do this for attendance, like I said. So if you wanted to do this for attendance, instead at the top, you could include dates, but I'm just going to add some titles for different assignments. So for example, I might type in Unit 1. All right, so I've added both all of the students in my class and the names of the different units that I'm going to be tracking with this assignment tracker. A lot of people, when they use Google Sheets, they think that to track stuff, you need to type in like a letter X, for example, when a student has submitted work. But there's actually a really clever trick that you can do to add checkboxes to your assignment tracker. So what I can do is I can click on the first cell that I want to include. So for me, this is B2. And I'll go over here to the last cell that I want to include, which is going to be G7. And on my keyboard, I'm just going to hold down the Shift button, and then I'm going to click on that cell, and now you'll see that this entire rectangle has been selected. Now I'm going to add the checkboxes. To do that, I'm going to go up here to where it says Insert, and now I'm going to go down to where it says Checkbox. And now you'll see that a bunch of checkboxes have been added to my assignment tracker. This is a really handy tool and I think is much more visually interesting and an easier way to keep track of which students have completed their assignments. So now comes the fun part. We're going to start adding some colors and making this look a little bit more visually interesting. So the first thing I want to do is I want to change the font and the colors of these units. I really like having my spreadsheets color-coded. I think it makes more sense in my brain and it's just easier for me to keep track of. So I'm going to highlight all of the unit numbers here. Now to do that, I could do the same trick where I just go to the other cell, hold down Shift and then click. But another way you can do this is you can actually select all the cells in a row or a column by clicking on these numbers or letters on the left or the top respectively. So for example, if I click on the 1, you'll now see that every single cell in row 1 has been selected. So what I can do is I can go here to the font and I can select the font I want to use. I like this Railway font. And now I can just start adjusting the font and the colors just like you normally do using Google Docs or Google Slides. So I'm going to do this for a minute here. All right, so now I have color-coded the different units that I have here. Next, I'm going to change the font for the student names. So I'll just click on the A to select everything in column A. And now I can change the font to Railway. I can change the size if I'd like. Maybe I want to make it big. That's a little too big. Go back to 14. I'll bold it, and it looks pretty good. All right, so I also want to be able to color code these check boxes. So to do that, you're going to select your check boxes, and instead of going to the paint bucket tool, you're going to go to the text color tool. So when I click on the text color and I choose red, for example, you'll see that my check boxes here are now red. So I'm going to do the same thing for the other boxes here. Now you'll see I accidentally pressed the paint bucket tool, which then changed the background color of the cell. So I'll just undo that, and now I'll choose again the text color. All right, perfect. So now I have color coded my checkbox. So the very last thing I want to show you guys is how you can actually make it so that when you scroll, you can continue to see the student names or the unit numbers. So the way that you can do that is you see over here in the left-hand corner where it has these two thick gray lines. If I actually click on one of these and I drag it and then release, now when I scroll, the unit numbers will follow. So if you have a bunch of students in your class, when you scroll, these numbers here will still continue on down with you, which I think is just a really helpful tool for you to keep track. Now you can do the same thing for student names. So I can click on this other gray line here, drag and release. And so now when I scroll to the right, you'll see that the student names follow. So as you have more and more units in your class, this can be really helpful to make it so that the student names still follow as you scroll. So now lastly, I'm going to show you how you would actually use this. So let's say I am checking in on unit 1. I can see, okay, student A submitted their work, student B did not, student C did, student E did, D and F did not, and I can just keep going. And so now you have a really handy assignment tracker that's visually interesting, it's color-coded, and it's really easy for you to use.
Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, be sure to give me a thumbs up, press the subscribe button if you're not already. So I'll see you back here soon. Bye, friends.